Our topic for today is about Kirchhoff's voltage law. Kirchhoff's voltage law states that the algebraic sum of all the voltages in any complete electrical circuit is equal to zero. What does it mean? Let us use this circuit as an example to elaborate what the law says. We have a voltage source V1 here, and then V2 as a voltage drop of R2, V3 as voltage drop of R3, we have another voltage source V4 here, and finally V5 as voltage drop of R5. According to the law, if we add all these voltages algebraically, this will be equal to zero. There are a few steps that we need to follow in order to formulate the equation accurately. Since we need to get the sum algebraically, we need to consider the sign of each voltage to be able to calculate the unknown values correctly. The first step is to determine the direction of the current through assumption. In determining the direction of the current, we have to select a reference voltage source from where we can assume that the current is coming from. Let us select B4 as reference voltage source. We assume that the current will flow from negative terminal of B4 going counterclockwise to V3, V2, V1, and V5, and then back to positive terminal of B4. Please note that this direction is just an assumption. If we get a negative answer in our calculation later, do not worry. This only means that our assumption is wrong. The current is actually flows in clockwise direction. Next is mark the terminals of the resistances. Here is the rule. The terminal of the resistance that is connected to the negative terminal of the reference voltage source will be marked negative. So let's mark this terminal of V3 negative, and of course, the other terminal is automatically positive. Next, this terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the battery through resistance R3. Therefore, we will mark this as negative, and the other one will automatically be positive. Do the same until all resistances are marked. Next step is formulating the equation. This step is very important because this will tell us whether the voltages that we are going to use in the equation is negative or positive. Here is the rule. If the current enters the positive terminal, then the voltage is positive. And if the current enters the negative terminal, then the voltage is negative. Let us start with B4. The current I enters the positive terminal of B4, which makes B4 positive. Then the same current will enter the negative terminal of R3, which makes V3 negative. The current will then flow from positive terminal of R3 to the negative terminal of R2 that makes V2 negative. And then the current will continue on and enters the negative terminal of B1, which makes V1 negative. Then out from the positive terminal and goes to the negative terminal of R5, which makes V5 negative. And back again to positive terminal of B4. And if we add all of these voltages, it should be equal to zero according to the law. Adding positive V4 plus negative V3 plus negative V2 plus negative V1 plus negative V5 will give us this simplified equation. Before we continue, I would like to take the opportunity to greet the following PCC instructors: Julius Umila, Instructor of Mathematics for Electrical and Electronics; Joel Yaves, Instructor of General Electronics Technology; Frutuso Tilay, Electrical Instructor; Eric Manzano, PCC Architect; and to all students taking ET and GET courses as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now that we have the simplified equation, we can now start solving the unknown values of I, V2, V3, and B5. But before that, let us supply the given values to our circuit. R2 is 2 ohms, R3 is 5 ohms, R5 is 3 ohms, V1 is 20 volts, and finally, V4 is 50 volts. These are the given, and this is our equation formulated a while ago. Let us start substituting the values. B4 is 50 minus V3. But instead of using V3, which is unknown at the moment, we will use the Ohm's law formula, V is equal to I times R, which is in this case I times R3. We will do the same for V2, which is equal to I times R2 minus 20 for B1 minus B5, which is I times R5, then equals 0. Then let us substitute the value of R3 gives us 5I. Substituting the value of R2 gives us 2I minus V1, which is 20, minus B5, which is 3I, equals 0. And then combine like terms. Negative 5I minus 2I minus 3I gives us negative 10I. 50 minus 20 gives us positive 30 equals 0. Let us subtract 30 on both sides of the equal sign to eliminate 30 on the left side. Then divide both sides by negative 10, then I equals 3 ampere. Now that we have the current, we can now calculate for the voltage drops across V2, V3, and V5 using Ohm's law formula. V2 equals I times R2 equals 3 times 2 equals 6 volts. V3 equals I times R3 equals 3 times 5 equals 15 volts. V5 equals I times R5 equals 3 times 3 equals 9 volts. Let us now check to see if adding all these voltages yields to 0. 50 minus 15 minus 6 minus 20 minus 9 equals 0. If by checking and your answer is not equal to 0, then something is wrong with your calculation. If in case you want to calculate power, P2, P3, and P5, and the total power, here is the calculation. P2 equals I times B2 equals 3 times 6 equals 18 watts. And P3 is equal to 3 times 15 equals 45 watts. P5 equals 3 times 9 equals 27 watts. And adding these three will give us the total power of 90 watts.